Valentine's Day is coming up soon, I wanted to remake a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Michelangelo Valentine's Day card I made a few years ago. It's super cute and perfect for anyone. Of course, you could take the body template and then turn it to any other character. The difference here is instead of using a gingerbread man template from some Christmas artwork my brother had brought home a few years ago, we're going to be using a body template that I made. So let's get started. So first thing you want to do is download the body template, whichever one you want to use, and size it to however big or small you want it. Then you're going to print it out onto regular printing paper. Then you're going to draw your character onto the body template. I'm filling in the pieces that I'm going to cut out, such as which one of the two eyes I want, along with the wrist and knee veins. Once you're done with that, fold your cardstock in half and then cut your character out. Trace the template onto the cardstock. Make sure that one of the hands is drawn onto the folded side of the cardstock because that's how the card is going to open and close. When you're done tracing, cut the body template out and then erase the pencil marks. I like to use double-sided tape to help hold my templates down while I'm cutting shapes out of felt. You can also trace the templates with a pen first and then cut it out if you're more comfortable with that. Here I'm just cutting the body out with green felt. Now I'm folding the template in half and then I'm going to cut out the pieces I want to use for my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Michelangelo card. Folding your template in half before cutting helps with making straight and even pattern pieces. Now we're going to take the orange felt and cut out Michelangelo's mask, armbands, and knee bands. Then we're going to take the mask and cut another piece of orange felt to the halfway mark of the mask to make the part of the mask that sticks out. We're going to cut a triangle shape out from the edge. I'm taking a tan felt and freehanding a heart by folding the felt in half and then cutting half a heart out. I'm going to keep folding and cutting the heart until it fits Michelangelo's chest and stomach the way I want it to. Now take your brown felt and cut your belt out. Take it off and make sure it fits fine. The last thing to cut out is Michelangelo's eyes. Just take the mask template piece, cut out the eye you're going to use, which in this case is the eye I had darkened in earlier. Take your black felt and cut the eyes out. I'm going to use white thread to sew on my orange pieces so you guys can see how the thread looks like when it's sewn on. Of course, when you make this, you are going to want to use orange thread or something very close to it. Please make sure that before you start sewing that you're sewn on the correct side of the body piece, because you don't want to end up sewing everything on the wrong side to find out that the right hand, in this case, that's the attachment and helps open and close the card, is actually on the other side. So just make sure you check that before you start committing to the sewing. I'm going to use a felt stitch in all the sewing. If you still don't know what a felt stitch is, I'll have a link showing how to do it in the description box below. I decided to cut the mask piece that's supposed to be hanging out in half because I didn't want a little bump that the folding was going to give the card. So after all my orange pieces are sewn on, I'm going to sew the tan heart onto Michelangelo. I'm going to use a single piece of double-sided tape to make sure it stays down. Once you have the heart in place, felt stitch all around it. So now we're going to move to the most tedious part of this project, and it honestly isn't that bad. It's probably the part that takes the longest. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a few straight stitches going vertical across the heart. This little detail adds extra cuteness and it kind of reminds me of a waffle or a pie. The amount of vertical stitches you make doesn't matter. I just try to space them out as evenly as possible, but honestly, it's no big deal. We're going to go back and make horizontal stitches all the way down. Once the heart is all stitched up, we're going to sew down the belt. If any of your pattern pieces are going outside of the body piece, just cut the extra sticking out off before sewing your pieces down. Next, we're going to felt stitch down Michelangelo's eyes. Of course, we're going to put double-sided tape on them before putting them down where we want them. Once we're done with that, we're going to take out pink felt and cut out 2 small hearts to put on Michelangelo's cheeks to make cute blush marks. We're going to fold a small piece of pink felt in half and cut the hearts out the same way we cut out the tan heart. Since the hearts are smaller, of course, you don't really need to use double-sided tape to hold them down. Just felt stitch the pink hearts into place, and then we're all done with the stitching. Here's a close-up of how Michelangelo looks so far, and of course, the bag looks like a hot mess that only you and I need to know about. Like, no one should really be like pulling it off. Hopefully, yeah. Now take your glue and spread it all over the front of your cardstock. Make sure you get as close to all the edges as possible. Once the front piece of your cardstock is covered, put your felted Michelangelo onto the cardstock as nicely as you can. The main reason I chose to use regular glue instead of hot glue is that regular glue is very forgiving and you can continue to take your felt piece off to fix it as long as the glue is still wet. Also, don't forget to glue the piece of the mask that's sticking out of the card onto the card. I almost did. Thankfully, I saw it before the glue dried. Once that is done, take a heavy object and put it on top of the side that has the felt to make sure that your card dries flat. Now this step is optional. I decided to take decorative paper and trace the body template on the bag so I could cover some dirty spots that ended up on the back piece of my front piece. I honestly don't know why I folded my decorative paper in half here, but you don't really need to do that unless you want to. So once you cut out the decorative paper, I highly suggest that instead of putting glue onto your paper and gluing it down, just wait till your felt piece dries and then use double-sided tape to put the decorative paper down, because my paper kind of got wrinkly after it was done. So just wait and just slap some double-sided tape on there and then slap the paper on, then you're good. So once your card is dried, you'll have an awesome Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Michelangelo card for someone special. They're both so cute, aren't they? So if you'd like to make a card similar to the older card, I do have a link for the body template in the description box below. You just do the exact same thing, but with adjustments to the different body shape. If you make this card or any card using this body template, make sure you tag me on my social media so I can see the awesome cards that you make. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.